I left the United States 3 months ago today. I was committed to not spending the summer of 2025 in the United States. And I know there's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety going around right now in the US, and I don't want to contribute to that, but I do want to contribute to the conversation and a lot of the real things that happened as someone who recently left the United States. If you are genuinely serious about leaving, you need to start planning it. You do not want to be in a situation where you just have to go. And I'm saying that, but I do kind of feel like now is the situation where you have to go. But again, I'm a little bit risk averse and sensitive, which is why I left 3 months ago. A plan would include where you want to go, where you are allowed to go or where they would accept you, what you're going to do to support yourself there, and a lot more things, but we're not going over all of that. If you want to go over what that looked like for me, I will happily do that, but it deserves its own video. It is way too long to put all of that in this video. But have a plan. Make it, if not a full-time job, a part-time job. Unfortunately, it's not just going to happen. You're going to have to do it unless you're paying someone to do it all for you, but you still have to come up with a lot of information for those people, so you still have to put in the work. For point number 1 and point number 2, I want to say that I see a lot of people being like, AI will help you. AI is going to help me make my plan. AI is going to help me do this. No. It's not. It can help you organize your plan. It can help you kind of get a better idea of where to start. It can help you narrow down where you want to go, which I think you should be able to do yourself, but it's not going to execute these things for you. It won't. AI does not have a clear enough grasp on other people's bureaucracy, other countries' bureaucracy, the intricacies that go between coming from X country to Y country. It doesn't have the range. It doesn't have the range. If you want to use AI as a tool to tell you like, hey, what should I do in the next 6 weeks to get ready to submit for my application for a visa? That's fine, but it can't do it all for you. It cannot do it. You still have to do it. Last and absolutely not least, if you are preparing to move abroad, you are considering moving abroad, you are wanting to execute that, you need to get a good grasp of cultural humility. There are a lot of influencers out here, people who like move abroad, people who are like, yeah, you could just move anywhere and do this and that and the other. If you're truly moving somewhere to live there, you need to have cultural humility. What I mean by cultural humility is that you cannot show up to another country and expect things to run exactly like they run in the country that you're coming from, because didn't you leave there for a reason? And also, we're not there. A big part of that for me is not calling myself an expat. I know this is highly contested, and I know an expat is supposed to be someone who's living outside of their country for maybe an X amount of time, but could have plans to go back. I personally think that a lot of people who use the word expat are just trying to further push themselves away from being called an immigrant. And I think that that says something about their idea of being an immigrant and their idea of integration into a new place. That might not be the type of cultural humility that you personally are going to deal with and work on, but there's going to be something. There's going to be something in the new place that you go that you need to humble yourself before those people who are there, know that system, it's their system, and you are just joining it. So you don't get to call the shots. You don't get to say how we do X, Y, and Z, because you're not in your spot anymore. You're in their spot. There you have it. Those are 3 things that I would tell you after 3 months of living abroad as maybe a longtime visitor, maybe an immigrant, depending on if they let me stay. If you have more questions about the process or my experience or anything like that, please let me know. Otherwise, take care of yourself. Love you so much.